Hi everyone, I'm Deepika Trehan. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of our leadership web series, Diva is a Mindset. I have really someone really special with me today because our association now goes back over 5 years. She's been the first winner of the Corporate Diva Development Program, a senior leader in the financial sector, and now an executive director with a startup. Hi Sangeeta, welcome to the web series.
Thank you so much, Deepika, for having me. It's an honor to be here.
I'm going to start with where we started our association with, where we got to know each other. We got to know each other first through, of course, you were the winner of the Corporate Diva program. And that wasn't an easy journey then as well. I'd like to know a little about that winning of the Corporate Diva program. At the same time, what has been the impact now that we're associated for over 5 years? What's been the CD impact on you?
Well, that's a very interesting question. In fact, CD has been a life-changing game because I still remember the first day when I got to interact with you. I was kind of taken away by the entire concept of the sisterhood development. And I still recall the day prior to the event. I think 1 or 2 days prior to the event, I had a very bad ligament injury. And I was literally with a big bandage, and then everybody said that, Sangeeta, this is not your day. I think move back and come back next year. And I remember the conversation that you told me, Sangeeta, really outside attribute doesn't have any impact. What you feel within, believe within, that is something projects. And with that belief, I decided to participate. And on top of that, my contestant number was 13. So all the co-participant kind of made fun of saying that, you were anyway unlucky 13 and now this ligament damage, you're not going to make it, dear. Just go back. But that belief you gave me that, what you are is because who you are within. And with that belief, when I actually came to the stage and I was sort of recognized as the first ever winner of the Corporate Diva edition, I had the belief in myself that sky is the limit. And if you set your eyes anywhere, you'll go ahead and make it. And after that journey has been beautiful. And thanks to you, for giving me the platform. It's been really, really rewarding for me since then.
Completely our pleasure. In fact, of course, our little contribution to your life was probably bringing out the best version of yourself in terms of your self-belief. But I personally salute your grit and your determination. It's fabulous. There is so much that we get to read about you on the web, and there's so many accolades that you come with. Everybody feels that they pretty much know Sangeeta Roy Chaudhary, but I'm sure there are certain aspects of Sangeeta Roy Chaudhary that we don't know. Tell us something that we don't know.
Oh, well, I think what you don't know is that I'm very intuitive, I can figure out things a little in advance. So I remember whenever there's an interview being set up, my boss comes back to me and tells me, could you please interview this candidate? And whatever I have predicted, generally it comes true. So I think it's very, very intuitive. And one of the very important parameters that most of you guys don't know is that I'm an extreme risk taker. I can jump into an ocean without knowing how to swim. So I remember starting my own e-commerce venture when my spouse was kind of setting up on his own, and I decided to move on and I jumped ahead. Similarly, I have never allowed myself to get into the comfort zone. So whenever there's a comfort zone, I have always challenged the status quo, and it's been so rewarding.
Absolutely. And I also know one more factor that you're an extremely sensitive person. I know you're carrying your tissue bag along with you for movies.
Oh, that was a personal. I thought whether to share or not. But I get into the characters, whenever there's a movie or there is some serial, I get into the character, and then my son, Mama, carry some more tissues. You have to keep biting it.
But tell me something, all these champion awards, all these accolades of being a prudent marketer, a great professional into client acquisition. How have you mastered that skill? Is there a mantra to it?
What I have felt that, whenever I get into a client acquisition role, many people, what mistakes they do is that they try to come up and show their knowledge instead of really understanding the pain point of the client. the moment you kind of figure out why he needs your service, not that what all you have to offer, then things become a different game. And I think it's very important for any client acquisition role or any salesperson or BD person to be able to connect with the product and services internally. Because if you believe in the product, you will bring the best version. The moment you start, you can't really fake it to make it. You have to believe it to really showcase it. And one of the last point I would like to kind of bring out here, that once we stop thinking about I, me, myself, instead of becoming a myopic on a vision, if you look at we ask ourselves how we solve a larger problem, how I really kind of figure out a solution for my client, and it comes from within, I think any role given to you will be a success. And no wonder because of that, thankfully, in my last 16, 17 years of career journey, I have been kind of given so many awards, and I'm glad I could contribute.
No, very well, deservingly. In fact, I really personally also believe in the fact that you cannot fake it to make it. So that's something really profound. You and I have often talked about bucket lists, and I know 7 Wonders were a part of your bucket list. You've been a top 100 inspiring women of India a couple of years ago. You recently launched your book at the Corporate Diva platform, which turned out to be the bestseller. How do you make all of this happen?
Wow, that's actually been a real long journey. I think I had to really dive down to my childhood. I still remember when I was sort of a primary class student, I used to write small short extract of poems at the last page of my book. So one of the class teachers noticed it and called me saying that, you write so well, why don't you start pursuing it? And she got the book published, annual kind of magazine. I kind of come from vernacular language background. So my dream has been to be able to speak in English one. I remember when our first TV came to our home, I was in 7th or 8th grade student. I saw this Presidency and St. Xavier's College are debating. And after that, my dream was to be able to get a degree from St. Xavier's, and that too in English honors. And without knowing the language, and to be able to get into the college. And I still remember how ridiculed was, how much I was ridiculed. It's very difficult to be kind of walked in front of a hall full of students. I used to come back to my hostel days and how much I have kind of shed tears nights after nights. And one day I kind of told myself, this is enough. I'm going to make a difference. And I'm going to take charge of it. No more rehearsing. And after that, really from there, without not knowing the language, getting rejected from all the top jobs because of the improper verbal skills, to coming to a platform where I am the chosen anchor, the most leading shows, leading events in the country. I'm the mentor. I have been given an opportunity to share my experience. It's been a fabulous journey. And I think I will thank Corporate Diva for this, because I remember our conversation before the Delhi chapter launch that one of my bucket list has been, publishing a book. And you told me, I have the Corporate Diva event coming up in next 2 months, Sangeeta. Why don't you launch it there? And I said, Deepika, it's just 2 months. How could I do it? And you said that we can do it. I know your strength. From that day, collating all the poems, writing additional poems, finding a publisher to, it was a miraculous. I can't believe, I still get my goosebumps when I think about it. And, within 2 months, the book was launched. And today the book is the bestseller. So it's been a journey truly, so close to my heart. And thanks to people like you who have kind of stood by my side through thick and thin to make this a success story.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps on that as well, Sangeeta. I totally remember our conversation. But so that's the grit, that's the determination that I often talk about when I refer to you as a woman leader. Hats off to that. And of course, there's tons more to talk about, Sangeeta, but because of the paucity of time, one last message in COVID times that you'd like to give out to our audience.
I think what COVID has taught us that how less we need, how much we are blessed to have, how much more we are blessed to have to give it to the people. I think in this last 45 days of lockdown, I've seen my credit card bill have come down That is how much we can have a minimalist life. And it is the joy of giving out to people who really needs your help. How fortunate we are, to be with our parents who are post-parents. COVID has taught us a very important part of life, how to be on the go and how to give back to the world and give the healing feeling to the Mother Nature. Because if the Mother Nature is healed, we all ourselves will be healed. I think this has been a rebirth to this impact.
No, indeed. I think very profound viewpoint over there in terms of healing, in terms of living minimalistically, in terms of the joy of giving. And on that note, it has been extremely joyful interacting with you, Sangeeta. There is a different positive energy that you bring along with you, and completely a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having this show. I think this will really make a lot of difference to many more women leaders.
Kudos to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.